Alright, so this is going to be Age of Fantasy Regiments. I'm pretty excited about everybody getting excited about Warhammer the Old World. I was always a big fan of Warhammer Fantasy. I'm glad they're making a comeback. Might be a little bit too late for me, as now I'm into one-page rule stuff. So here we have a battle between the High Elves and the Human Empire. I just wanted to get a feel for the regiment, see what it's like. I didn't even finish. I have to apologize in advance. My humans are not fully painted. Elves are fine. The humans are not. I'm working on them right now, but I just couldn't wait to try out the regiments. And so here is the humans. They have a battle master that's joined to the infantry squad. The infantry has 10 spears, and the battle master is the captain, which means that he's going to give 4 quality to the infantrymen. The elite weapons masters, they're the AP guys. Both these units have sergeants, musicians, banners. The horse marksmen also have sergeant, musician, banner. The sergeant is on the Gatling rifle, which has 4 extra shots. So these are really good units. They're fast, they're scout, they have 18-inch range, and they have a little bit of armor piercing to boot. The marksmen are very similar, except instead of a Gatling rifle, they have a sniper rifle, which means that they're going to hit on 2s, which is really important because look how low quality these troops are. Anything to bring up the quality is going to be okay in my book. The sniper helps them, all the extra shots helps them, and the captain helps these guys. Elite weapon masters are better troops, and they got the armor piercing. And the Griff Riders here, also full command. These are my heavy hitters. These are the dudes. They're toughness 3, quality 4, defense 3. They have 3 attacks at AP 1, 3 attacks at rending. So they're a really good unit. The elves are smaller. They have a high noble on a griffin. So instead of a demigriff, they have a griffin. And he's got a lance with 3 attacks and rending claws for 6 attacks, 9 toughness. So that's a pretty big dude right there. If we look at the demigriffs, they're 225 for 3 of them. This guy's 10 points more for just 1 guy. Warriors, this is basically the spearmen, even though they're going to look like Sea Guard. They're not. They're the regular warriors, full command, and they've got spears as well. The Phoenix Warriors, they have regeneration. They're the more defensive-y guys on this list. And only defense 4, but that regeneration really helps. And they're very high quality. All these elves are good quality. The Halberds are AP 1 and rending, so that's good. The Dragon Cavalry, these are another good heavy hitter. High quality, high defense, fast, fearless. They're not going to run. They got impact, and they've got lances. So they do have, on the attack, they're much better. They got lance and impact, but on defense, they are going to have less of a chance to hold. So here's the battlefield. I just set up a couple forests, a pond with some stuff around it, a couple hills around here. A little bit of an advantage to the humans that start off with the hills, and so they scout their marksmen up here right at the edge of the forest so they could shoot through the forest, and it's going to be tough to get to them, so this is a really good position. The Griffin is all the way over here on the left flank of the elves. They've got spearmen, Phoenix Guard, and the Dragon Princes. Of course, we got the marksmen on horseback, the sword masters, the spearmen with the captain that's going to be in there. I just leave him out there for some reason. The marksmen, and then the demigriff riders. Turn 1. Marksmen pretty much don't move, and they're going to take shots, I want to say, at the spearmen. And they miss. The dragon princes move up to challenge them. The marksmen move up on the hill here, and they're not in range of the rifles, but the sniper can hit, and so they shoot at the Spearman's champion, and they get him. So he's out of the game. The sword masters move up on this hill. The spearmen for the elves move up over here. Spearmen for the humans move up here with their hero, getting ready to go after these guys. So you can see here now the Phoenix Guard is one big cloggy area here, with the battlefield being the way that it is. One thing we did miss was that the Griffin did move over here somewhere in the middle of this turn, and the Demigryphs moved to challenge them. And so this is how turn 1 ends. We've got the marksmen over here. Everybody's coming into this left flank of the humans, and so the humans are getting ready to bolster that area with the marksmen able to shoot in any direction that they need to. Everybody's pretty much in range now. And the Demigryphs are over here protecting against the Griffin that is lurking behind this forest. So we go to turn 2, and right away the Griffin goes right after the Demigryphs. As expected, the kills one of the Demigryphs and wounds another, and they're only able to do 2 wounds back at the Griffin. They pass their morale check, so everybody's good. And now the marksmen, they back up a little bit and shoot at the spearmen. They knock out 3 spearmen, which is pretty good. Then the spearmen move in here. Now here's OPR. Consider this. If you are spearmen and you're attacking spearmen, why do they get counter? You know, shouldn't the spears counter the counter? And it just is a normal hit or something. I don't know. It seems weird to me that spearmen would be at a disadvantage against spearmen. They should cancel out or something. I don't know. It just felt weird. Anyway, they go in there. These spearmen, since they're at quality 4 because of this leader, they do a number on them, and they're only able to kill one of the human spearmen, and then they flee. So the elf spears are gone, and that is a big blow, although that is their worst troops of the entire army. Dragon Princes are starting to move through the forest trying to get to the marksmen. The Demigryphs are now go on the attack. Everybody's tired here, and that did not help the Griffins here. I figured that quality of 4 going to quality of 6 is better than quality of 3 going to quality of 6. No, that didn't work out too well, as they were able to put a bunch of wounds, true, on the Griffin. They put 3 more wounds, but he did 5 wounds and wiped them out. So the Demigryphs are now out of the game. They did do a lot of damage. He's down to 4 wounds left, less than half, so he's not doing so hot right now, but he's still in action, and these guys are not. Alright, so Phoenix Guard move up to fill the gap where the spearmen used to be, and the swordsmen get ready for some sort of charge either way. Go to turn 3. I don't know if this was the best move, but the Griffin moves in on the spearmen in the flank so that they don't have this advantage, but only does 1 wound, and they pass the morale test, so they're just fine and dandy. They don't care. And so now he's just hanging out there like a big old matzo ball. The marksmen now shoot at the Phoenix Guard and do take out 2 of them. The Dragon Princes now emerge from the forest, but they still can't get to anybody because everybody keeps backing off. And so these marksmen now put some more wounds onto the Griffin, and he fails his morale check. This was big. Not having morale, now pretty much he's out of the game because we're in turn 3. He came in 1, 2, 3, so now he's going to spend his whole next turn rallying. Swordsmen go after the Dragon Princes. They take out 1 of them, and the Dragon Princes, even without impact, without lances, they still take out 2 of the Sword Masters, and they fail their morale check and have to back off. The spearmen go after the Phoenix Guard, and the Phoenix Guard, I believe, loses 1, and the spearmen lose 2, and they fail their morale check, so now they're in trouble. Things are going against them very quickly. Yeah, so this is a situation now. Even though it looks like it's even, these guys are in real bad shape. So this is how turn 3 ends. A little foreshadowing here with the Griffin. You got 2 units here that are in big trouble, and then your 2 shooty units that are in perfect position to do a lot of damage. So now we go to the final turn, and that's exactly what happens. The marksmen, I kind of gave it away earlier, they knock out the Griffin. The Phoenix Guard then move into these guys here and just wipe them out. They flee. The swordsmen now are going to pick up, they're going to rally so that they can receive this charge, which happens on the very next thing. They get wiped out. And then the marksmen are just kind of hanging out there themselves. So they shoot at the Dragon Knights and kill 2 of them, but they do pass the morale test because they are high quality. And that's how it ends. You've got the Phoenix Guard here in the center, Dragon Princes here, marksmen, mounted marksmen, and I kind of gave the win to the Elves because they held more of the board. They came over here, even though they're no longer in this quarter, they're in control of this quarter. They pushed or didn't allow the humans to come onto their side of the board. They're the ones on the attack. And just for kicks and giggles, we played to the death at this point. On turn 5, since they had the last turn, the Dragon Princes went right into the marksmen and wiped them out in one shot. The marksmen didn't even have a chance to respond. The Dragon Princes killed 3 of them, and then they failed their morale, and then they were gone. The marksmen shot at them. I think they got 1 or 2 as the Phoenix Guard moved here 1 turn and then charged on the 6th turn. They got another shot in, didn't do enough damage, and they wiped out the marksman on turn 6, if we had played a turn 6. And so, yeah, clearly the Elves were in control here and were able to beat the humans. I personally attribute this not to any sort of grand design or tactics or anything like that, or how good you are at the game. I think it's just the painted unit always beats the unpainted army. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. I'm thinking about doing a escalation campaign, some sort of maybe some scenarios with the next time, but I'm definitely digging the regiments style of game. It's much more restrictive. You have to use a lot less terrain in these games. So if you're into terrain, don't play regiments, because you really have to limit the amount of terrain so these guys can move around and actually get in there. I mean, it took all 4 turns for the Dragon Princes to even touch somebody. You want all your units to be able to attack once in a game. Otherwise, there's a flaw in the game. They need to be in the game at some point. So, yeah, you have to take out a lot of the terrain in order to enjoy regiments because of the restricted movement and how they move around. I thought the 4 turns was a little short, but this is just a 750-point game. We'll see what it's like in a bigger game when I can start painting up these units. Also, as a side note, my friends in the area that do like to play these games, they are very interested in Age of Fantasy regiments. One of them is playing the Ratmen, and the other one's going to be playing the Tomb King's version. I can't remember the name. And so I'm setting up Human Empire, and if you saw my other video when I went over all the other companies, who knows, I may go into a samurai army or some crazy dragon army. I don't know. We'll see how we get to. The only army I have ready and painted is High Elves. Definitely think I'm going to start with them just so that I could say that I played with them as I'm getting these other guys ready. But yeah, the absent of a real opponent. Now, I did have somebody play the High Elves, but it was really me showing them how to play. But yeah, it'll be really nice once I get an opponent on this table and we do some battles and maybe get you some bat reps. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this this little video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.